Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another full face one brand, and this is also luxury makeup. I've done Chanel, I have done Dior, and now I am doing Surratt. Surratt is a beauty company that was started by Troy Surratt, who is a legendary makeup artist and trained under Kevin Aucoin and just has done amazing things in his own right. And he started this brand not only for makeup artists, but also for just the everyday makeup wearer, to be Japanese ingenuity with New York sensibility. That's what it says on the website, and I love that. It is a brand that was born in Japan. It has a lot of influence from Japanese makeup, and again, made for makeup artists alike with just the everyday makeup wearer. Lots of different options. I do have a code with Surratt, and it is Mandy20. I will leave it on the screen. And if you go through the Surratt website, it will get you 20% off of your purchase. I purchased a good amount of these things, and they sent me a good amount of these things. It's kind of half and half. But as always, I'm gonna give you my honest opinion whether I was sent the product or whether I bought it myself. So this is the full face that I did with Surratt Beauty. Let's go ahead and jump in. I did want to mention, for a couple of reasons, because it's new and also because I often get asked what's on my face before I apply foundation. It is always just skincare and SPF. I don't tend to use primers. The SPF I have on today is new. It's only the second day I've worn it, so I haven't worn it under this foundation, but it was awesome yesterday. It's from the Outset, which is Scarlett Johansson's beauty line, and it's the Hydra Sheer 100% mineral sunscreen. They sent me over a few products. This is one of them. This is a purely mineral zinc oxide based sunscreen that acts like a chemical sunscreen as far as texture, ease of use, sinking into the skin, no white cast. It's pretty impressive. I'll be talking more about it in my favorites, I'm sure, but I did want to let you know, I do always try to link whatever SPF I have on in the description box because it does tend to change daily. On to Surratt foundation. Surratt has two foundations. I have only tried this one. This is the Surreal Skin Wand Foundation. They also have Dewdrop Foundation, which has been said to be very, very pretty, sheer to light coverage, but this one intrigued me the most. So it does come with a brush applicator, and you click the product up from the brush and then apply. I do not use the brush to blend out. I will apply it that way, but I will use my own brush. It's just a little smaller than I like, a little less dense than I prefer to apply my foundation. So I am in the shade number 6. I'm just gonna stripe it on and blend it out. This foundation is an oil-free formula that provides a natural looking medium to full coverage with long wear. It helps to reduce the appearance of pores, uneven skin tone, fine lines. The price is $75 and it comes in 20 shades. And it is important to note that the foundation is only half an ounce. So this is about half of the amount of products that you get in typical foundations. So you can see the finish is not that much different than when I just have my SPF on. So it doesn't mattify, but I don't think it really makes it that much more luminous either. I probably use 2 full pumps. Like I pump it 2 full pumps up in the brush and then use that for my entire face and neck. As far as concealer, they actually have 3 different concealers. They have the Dewdrop concealer, which is what I'm gonna use today. And this is kind of like the sister product to their Dewdrop foundation. It comes with a sponge tip applicator. They also have a concealer palette, which looks like it comes with a couple of corrector shades and a concealer in a cream formula. And then they have a stick concealer, which looks like it would be similar to something like the Clé de Peau stick concealer. And probably for me would be better suited to conceal the face versus under the eyes, just because I like to have a lot of hydration under the eyes. So that's why I chose the Dewdrop concealer. So just click it a couple of times. The product comes up through the sponge, and then I just do probably 2 dots to start with under the eye. This concealer retails for $48. It comes in 2 shades, and it is a creamy, hydrating, buildable formula that contains hardworking skincare ingredients that help retain moisture around the delicate eye area, boost brightness, and reduce the appearance of darkness and puffiness. It has light to medium coverage with a natural looking finish. I am in the shade number 5. I picked too dark, and I think that's gonna come across on camera. It works eventually, but I definitely probably should have gone with number 4. It was hard for me to decide which one to pick, having not seen it in person. I was going off swatches online and other YouTube videos, which obviously aren't always that accurate, but I can make this work, and I do make this work, and I have worn this many a times. So because I do not have a powder or a bronzer from Surratt, I did that off camera. However, if you have tried one or the other or both, let us know how you like them down in the comment section. I'm interested most in the bronzers. I think they look very pretty. But now we're gonna talk about blush. I purchased this pink blush right here, which is called Cherubique, probably last year, and I really, really, really like it. They have 20 shades in these blushes. They do come in refill pans only. If you wanna put them in a palette, you will have to buy a separate palette. Now they do have some pre-made palettes with some blush colors, but you just won't be able to choose which, products you put in them. So this is Cherubique. And then this one right here, they sent me, and this is Angelique, which is a beautiful warm tone peachy color. So I like having these two options because they span what I need, either a cool tone or a warm tone, depending on my look that day. And then I'll get to the eyeshadows in a little bit. There are 20 different shades with different finishes to choose from in this. I honestly don't know what I'm doing with my eyes, but I think I'm gonna do Angelique. When you do have them in palettes like this, you have to make sure that your brush is small enough to get in it and not gonna touch other products. It's the only thing about this. Now they come in packages like this is an individual shadow. So I'll just show you, it has a plastic overlay cover. So if you wanted to keep them in that, that's fine. In fact, I did that with Cherubique probably for a year before I got a palette to put it in. I feel like Surratt is known for their blushes, and for good reason. They're very, very pretty, almost second skin-like, despite being powders. I have also used them as eyeshadows, and they're beautiful that way as well. But the ones that have like that shimmer finish, see how it kind of acts as a blush and a highlight in one. You don't need an extra highlight. You'll know I'm gonna put an extra highlight, but you don't need one. Now they also have Artistique liquid blushes. I have one shade in that. Where did I set it? Right here. I haven't tried it yet. This is in the shade Parfait, and it's kind of like a big chunkier version of the concealer, where the product comes out through a sponge tip applicator. You click it up through the bottom. And I have to try these because when I swatch them, it's a really pretty finish, right? Because it's liquid. But then I blend it out just a little bit and it kind of goes away. So I need to play with this a little bit more. Again, I have not tried it on my cheeks yet. Maybe it's just the color, I don't know. Now for highlight, I have used this before on camera and I really do like it. It is the Torche Lumiere highlight in Diamante. This is $54. It comes in 3 shades. Diamante is kind of the champagne shade. They have D'Or, which is more gold looking, and then Rose Diamante, which obviously has more of a pink undertone. So whenever I use a stick highlight like this, I always kind of paint it on these 2 fingers and then apply versus striping it onto my skin. Now I had mentioned the last time I used this on camera that this does have some visible shimmer particles when swatched on the hand or even on the finger. And this is my like 10 times magnifying mirror, which sometimes I feel like I need just on a daily basis. Gotta love aging eyesight. And I mean, it's real. I can see it a little bit, but it's really hard to pick up. So just being in front of someone, they're not gonna see those specks of glitter, at least not on me. Let's move on to eyeshadows. They have, I feel like this is kind of the category where they have the most amount of options. The eyeshadow that I showed earlier is one of their Artistique eyeshadows. These come in 31 shades and they range from matte, satin, shimmer, and duochrome finishes. And again, they come like this. You have to put them in your own palette, or they do have some already pre-curated palettes with these shadows in them. I have one of them and it's called Les Roses or Les Roses. This has the shades D'Or Rose, I can't say it right probably, Marron, Corsage, and Star in it. They also have one that has more beige shades. Even the satin finishes almost play more matte once they're put on the skin. And then this Star shade is a really pretty topper shade. The Souffle shadows come in a few different shades. I have the shade Ciel d'Or, and I've talked about this before. This is probably one of my favorite shadow discoveries of this year. I love this. It's like a putty, squishy formula, and it gives this, like, this is just a very slight peachy shade, peachy bronze shade, and it just gives the eye almost like a wet look. Oh, it's beautiful on top of other shadows or by itself. They also have Prismatic Eyes, which is kind of a cream shadow, and then on the bottom it has more of a shimmer topper. So it's a 2-in-1 type of product. And then they have the Smoky Eye Batons, which I have one of these. Let me see what shade it's in. Cendresse. Oh, I know I'm butchering it. Y'all don't have to tell me. I know. Cendresse. And this is an ashy taupe. And one side comes with like a creamy eye pencil. And then when you unscrew this side, it has like a little sponge applicator that has product on it from that container. And it's more of like a satin type of actual shadow. It's not loose. It doesn't really go anywhere when you take it out. But I love how this looks and how easy it is. Smudge that crayon on your lash line, kind of smoke it out a little bit, and then top it with that shadow. Y'all know that's kind of my way of doing shadow anyways. So very, very convenient, easy to travel with, and I love how that comes out. And then I have a couple of shadows down here on my palette. I'm gonna have to put the shades names up on the screen because I can't remember, and they're not that easy to pop out, even though Surratt does send kind of a tool to be able to get it out and of the palette. And then this one I bought probably beginning of last year. It's called Zibbeline, and it's this beautiful like taupey bronze shade. I will say these shadows are pretty special in formula. They are very, very easy to work with. They always look good on the eye. They're soft, they're subtle, they are not gonna be highly, highly pigmented when you first apply it. And I don't know what I wanna do for my eye look today. You know what, I'm gonna start out using blush that I used on my cheeks on the eye. And I think I'm gonna put this just lightly in the crease. Then I'm gonna take this shade right here, which again, I'm gonna have to put on the screen, on a Rephr 2 Max. That was a Rephr 15 that I just used in the crease. And I'm gonna start with a brush and just kind of apply it to the inner 2/3 of my eye. And then I'm gonna take this shade on a Rephr 12 brush and just define the outer corner. These shadows almost blend themselves. I just can't speak to how good of a formula they are. I can't speak enough of how good of a formula they are. Then I think just to be able to use a little bit of this palette too, I'm gonna take some of that Star, just a little bit, because again, this is pretty high glitter. And I'm gonna top just that inner corner, give it a little bit more shine. And let's just mix up all the shades. Let's go in with this shade right here, Maroon. It looks like it's spelled maroon. On a Rephr number 3 pencil brush, and kind of just use that on the lash line. A little bit under the eye as well. I have used the shade that I used in the outer corner quite often under the eye, regardless of if I use it on top of the eye. It's been a favorite kind of under eye shadow choice of mine since I've gotten it, because it tends to go with everything. Looks way more complicated than it was. It didn't take long at all because the ease of use in these shadows is crazy. Can you tell? I really like the shadows. I'm gonna curl my lashes with my Surratt eye curler, which has been a favorite of mine for years because it is very, very wide. I get all of my lashes in there, and it also opens very wide so that I don't have to really work to get my lashes in the clamp. Now, this is the only product I have not used before. This will be a first impression, so you will need to check the description box to see how I feel like it wore. But this is their mascara, and it's their Releve mascara. This is in the shade Noir. They have 3 different mascaras. One of them looks like the tip of like a screw, like a nail of a screw. It's basically just a coiled metal tip with no bristles. It's so interesting to me. It's a little expensive. I've seen people use it and it looks great. It's just very different. This is your typical mascara. It has a little bit of a skinnier wand, which is gonna make it good for the lower lashes as well. I'm gonna start using it there, so I'll really be able to see how it works wear-wise, if it smudges underneath my eyes. And then I'm gonna take it with no primer because I'm testing it. And I'm gonna put 2 coats of this on my upper lashes. I do like the spacing out of the bristles on the brush. Finding it helps me get in between my lashes pretty easy. This is actually a tubing formula, which is even better. And it also has microfibers in the formula, which I could tell when I first opened it up. There was some fibers on the brush itself. So I'm gonna coat my lashes with 2 coats of this and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so this is more of a wet formula mascara, and what that means is that when you go to build it up for like a second layer, you may have trouble with your lashes clumping together or may need to do some additional separation at the end, which I did have to do. And typically with tubing mascaras, I get more lengthening than volume, and that is what is on the marketing copy. It's a lengthening mascara. I think it's really pretty on the eyes. And again, I will put down in the description box how it wore. Now they sent me their lip luster. So this is the only lip product that I've tried from them. This comes in 10 shades for $32. It says lip gloss grown up. Y'all know I am a lip gloss fanatic. So I knew that I wanted to try this despite the fact that they also have lipsticks. But this is in the shade Coquette, which is a sheer pale pink with gold shimmer. And it's most definitely a pale pink. I love a nude gloss, don't get me wrong, but when I first wore this, it was very, very, very nude on the lips. So I do think for me, it's gonna be best if I have something on underneath it. I don't, again, have another lipstick. So I'm going to just use a lip liner, and I'm just gonna use Spice from Jane Iredale, just to give a little bit of color to my lips, and then apply it. This is a pretty sticky formula, which I don't mind, because usually with that comes long wear. And I do feel like I get a little bit more wear out of this than I would a typical lip gloss. It's not as long as my City Lips, but it is longer than just your everyday lip gloss that maybe doesn't have as sticky a formula. It's a nude gloss. I like it. Don't have anything bad to say about it. So that is my full face of Surratt. To go back over quickly and let you know my final thoughts on everything, there really is nothing that I have that I don't like. If I had to say the standouts, the foundation I adore. It just looks so flawless on the skin all day long. I really, really like the foundation. The concealer is fabulous as far as wear goes. Again, I do think I need a different color. I will finish that up though, because I can make it work. But the wear is beautiful, and you actually need less than you think. I was thinking that because of the kind of dewdrop, name and marketing behind it, that it would be a very sheer formula. It's not. You get very good coverage out of it, in my opinion, and you don't need more than the 2 dots that I used. The powder blushes stand out to me over this blush, despite the fact that I haven't tried it on the cheeks. It really shears out to next to nothing on my hands. So I will go ahead and just say I like the powder blushes better. The eyeshadows are phenomenal. I really, really like them. There's just something special about them, again. And it's yet to be seen about the mascara. If I had to choose, probably the one thing I'm like, man, maybe you don't need it. The lip gloss, it's great, it's pretty, but I don't really think it's so special that you need to go out of your way to order it. But other than that, I'm highly, highly, highly impressed with this brand and look forward to adding more to my collection. So as always, when I do a full face, I wanna know what your favorite products are from this brand. Let all of us know down in the comments. I will have everything listed and linked down below. I will try to link them to a couple of different places. If they're out of stock in Surratt, which you can use my code, I'll try to link it somewhere else so you can still purchase them if you choose to. So thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.